Hi there, this is Ranjit and I have this Asus Zenfone C with me, and in this video we'll be doing the unboxing and have a first look at this device. And if you recall, just last year I reviewed the Asus Zenfone 4 and even the Zenfone 5, which were actually very good devices for the price point. And now we have this new Asus Zenfone C, and this one sports a 4.5-inch screen. And this is being sold in India via Flipkart. The price quoted here on the box is $6,299, that's US $100. And I purchased it via Flipkart for rupees 5,999. That's almost 6,000 rupees. And if you're going to buy this device from Flipkart, please use my link. It does help the channel. And it says that it's 3G enabled. It also has Bluetooth 4 support. And it says about headphone output. And regarding RAM, it has 1 gig of RAM. Let us look at the device itself. Here is the device itself, and it comes with the Asus Zen UI. We'll look at this device a bit later. Let's see what is this. It says that the back cover can be opened, so let's have a look. And we have some manuals. That's the user guide, which is again in color and gives you a brief idea about the device, how to insert your SIM card, etc. This is the warranty card. We also have a micro USB cable, the Asus branded power brick, and it's written in very small text. I think it's 1.3 amps. And we have the battery also. Looks like we don't get any headset with this device. And it says here that the battery capacity is 2100 milliamp hour. Now let's look at this device itself. Take this out. That is the Asus Zenfone C, and this is in the black color. And let's open this one. We have an indent, so it easily actually opens, and it's a dual SIM device, and we can add our first SIM over here, second SIM, and the micro SD card also over here. It accepts a micro SD card also. So let me just pop in the battery, and let's do the first boot. Actually, it gave me haptic feedback the moment I inserted the battery. And the interesting thing about these Zenfone series is that they are powered by Intel Atom processor. So let's just power it on. Here we have the power button and the volume rockers. So let's do the first boot for this device. And it is powered by a 1.2 GHz dual core processor, but I believe hyper-threading might be enabled, hence the Android OS might see it as a quad core. And on the bottom we have these touch type capacitive buttons. That's for the back, home, and looks like this is for the multitasking tray. Regarding the front facing camera, it's just a VGA camera. We have the earpiece, and moving towards the back, the rear facing camera is a 5 megapixel shooter with LED flash. And this is the opening for the speaker. It'll be interesting to see how the speaker performs, because in the earlier series of Zenfone, the speaker output was not that great. And it is done. Let's quickly just set this up, and let me quickly connect to my Wi-Fi network. It just supports the 2.4 GHz band, and it connected to my Wi-Fi network, and we can add a Google account. We'll do that later on, and we can also create an Asus account if you would like to do that. But I'll do that later. Let's quickly just proceed, and we can skip data transfer, and we are actually done now. Let me adjust the brightness. Looks like it says that there is an update already, and Clean Master is also pre-installed. Let's look at the settings. Let's first go to the display, and let's go to the brightness. We also have the auto brightness sensor, as you can see, that is there on this device. So it's nice to see that. And we also have LED indicator over here. So we have physical LED notification light. Let's go back, and if you go to about, as you can see, it's running the KitKat version, but it is 4.4.2. The internal storage is 8 gigs, but let's see out of that how much do we actually get. We go to the storage, and out of that 8 gigs we just get 3.72 gigabytes available to us. I'll also add a micro SD card later on, and in my review I'll check if some of the apps are movable to the SD card. And again, this interface is the Asus Zen UI. If you pull from the left, you get to the notification. If you pull from the right, you get to these quick toggles. And this UI is actually pretty good, though it's not stock, but it performs actually pretty well. And this is the app tray that we get. So we have a custom app list, as you can see, and we get those slight animations. And notice how fluidly it's running. We also have the widgets over here. You can add the widgets. Let's just go back and let's fire up the web browser. Instead of this default web browser, let's use the Chrome web browser. It says set up the keyboard. I'll just skip this for time being. This is the default keyboard that we get, and we have a number row. And it's going to the mobile variant. As you can see, it's loading it actually pretty fast. It has 1 gig of RAM, and let's request the desktop variant. Again, it is handling it. Let's see the pinch to zoom. That seems to also be working very well. Let's open up one of the stories. Seems nice. And regarding the screen, it sports a 4.5 inch screen, which is a 480 by 854 pixel screen. Not the highest resolution screen. In terms of PPI, it comes to 218, but the viewing angles look actually pretty good on this device. Now, if we talk about the general specifications, as I mentioned, it sports a 4.5 inch screen. It's powered by Intel dual-core 1.2 GHz processor. The GPU is the PowerVR SGX 544, 1 gig of RAM, 5 megapixel rear-facing camera, a front-facing VGA camera, and a 2100 milliamp hour battery. So if you can see from the specs point of view, and if you take into account the price, that is just around $6,000, that's just around $100 US, you are getting a decent device. And it seems like initial impressions, it is performing pretty well. Let's also quickly look at the camera. I will be testing this device thoroughly later on. And let's fire up the camera. Where is it? If I can find it, here it is. And I'll just skip the tutorial for now. Remember locations, no thank you. We have the tap to focus, and the good thing is it is able to take the snaps pretty quickly. If you can see, I'll just tap into this area. Let's look at the snaps. But sadly, the front facing camera is just a VGA camera. These days, many of the cameras, front-facing cameras, are higher megapixel because of the selfie craze. Looks like a decent camera for a 5 megapixel shooter, I would say. But I will be testing this camera a lot more in my full review. So that's it for now for this very quick unboxing of this Asus Zenfone C. If you have any specific questions around this device, do post them in the YouTube comments and I'll try to include them in my review. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. It's free to subscribe and you'll be notified when I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video.